Well, here we are at another high school on our fourth day of our little mini tour in Prince Edward Island. And I'm talking to Juliana. And where are you from, Juliana?
From Peterborough, Ontario.
Wow, so you've come a long way to be here in Prince Edward Island, eh?
Yeah.
Now, this is our fourth high school, I think, in 4 days, isn't it?
Bluefield.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, this is our fourth. Yeah.
This morning we were at the Prince County Hospital in Summerside, the only hospital in Prince Edward Island where they do surgical abortions. And here we are in the west end of Prince Edward Island. Unfortunately, this high school it's a bit of a rural high school, and it's on a very busy highway. And so the staff wisely, probably, decided to, keep the students in, but they did come out for a little while at the beginning of lunch hour, and of course they took lots of pictures with their cell phones. Did you have any opportunity to talk to anybody at all, Juliana, or what?
I personally didn't get any dialogue. Willie, however, this young lady came up, and there wasn't any real dialogue. It was all just FUs and just like my body, my choice, typical, like, angry responses. There were just a few cars passing, but no dialogue. It was all just anger.
Yeah, but very likely they're talking about abortion during the lunch, and probably be the major conversation topic all afternoon. Now, I wanted you to talk about your experience this week at the other high schools. Now, fortunately, they weren't in such a kind of a dangerous location in terms of traffic, so lots of students came out. Yesterday, we were at Colonel Gray High School in Charlottetown, and what would you say was your experience there?
My experience was, honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but I had fun. It was, at first I pretended I was one of them. I had my backpack, and I blended right in. Lots of girls that I was just like one of them, and then I started to answer questions, and then so I went from one of their fellow pro-choicers to completely disowned. So at first I asked a question, and this girl was like, oh yeah, like super nice to me, and as soon as she found out I was pro-life, she started to get very hostile and very angry. So their attitudes towards me just switched like right from on to off. And there were a few snacks thrown, but it was nothing serious. It didn't escalate that far.
What was your experience in terms of their questions and the knowledge they seem to have of the basic science issues related to abortion?
They did not, the majority of them thought that a baby was not alive until it was born, or until it was breathing air and it was independent. So, and then a lot of them, most of them that I talked to, didn't even believe that the picture was real. Like, they thought that this was fabricated, that it was totally, completely photoshopped, like it wasn't real at all. They said that this is not what a fetus looks like at 10 weeks. They say it's like microscopic at 10 weeks. Like, I've heard all different sizes. They say 2 inches, 1 inch, inch and a half, and microscopic. So whatever sources they're getting it from, it's definitely not reliable.
Yeah, I was there yesterday too, and I kind of wished I had brought my little fetal model, if you want to hold that up. And of course I didn't have it with me, but that's actually a model of a child. I think it's 11 or 12 weeks, so it fits in the palm of your hand. It's actually quite large, and it's certainly does not look like, a blob of tissue.
Yeah.
So they were denying with me as well, basic science, that, life begins at conception. I couldn't even get them to agree that abortion was killing a child. They said, it's not a child, it's a blood clot. So it seems that, I'm not blaming their science teachers, but they're not paying attention at least. So it comes down to not accepting the truth, the scientific truth of the basic concepts like when human life begins. So anyway, we've got another high school possibly tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Thanks for coming to Prince Edward Island.